Hey boys, it's Harm9. Today we're going to be customizing the Progen Italy GTB in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing is a vehicle, well, that I haven't customized for 4 years coming up, which is pretty crazy. It's also on sale this week when I am recording this customization and review, and don't worry, I will factor in whether it's at the full price point or whether it is at the discounted price point in my review of the car. Of course, there is a Benny's version of this as well that you can upgrade, and it will give it a wide body kit and various other customization options, which is pretty cool. But anyways, to start things off, we're going to go all the way up on the armor, then all the way up on the brakes, of course, as well. Engine, we're going to go ahead and max that out, the turbo as well, and of course the transmission. Now, we got to start off with the bumper options, and we do have a few different bumper options, which is nice. So we got the stock bumper with the tow hook, which is pretty cool. We also have the race bumper with the tow hook. We have the low splitter. We also have the race bumper with the low splitter, or the GT aperture bumper, or the GT race bumper. I personally kind of really like the look of the race bumper. I feel like that improves the look of this car a lot. So that's the one that I'm going to go for. Now for the rear bumper, we do have a bunch of different diffusers and things like that, which is really nice. I do really appreciate some of this car's customization options and kind of wish that we got more of these on other vehicles. Now, personally, I'm kind of thinking about going for the shoulder diffuser or the camber diffuser. Either one of those looks really good to me. At the same time, the touring diffuser isn't too bad either, but I do just think that something about the primary camber diffuser is just a little bit better. Maybe even the secondary though. Let's go for the secondary actually, because maybe we can accent that a little bit with something a bit later on. Now for the exhausts, we have the chrome split box, we have the titanium split box. We also have the chrome triple slotted exhaust that goes up here. I'm not really a big fan of that placement though. The twin titanium racing exhausts are kind of okay, and the twin angled exhausts are interesting. And of course we have the needs more exhaust option with some up here and some down in the corners. Honestly, the stock exhaust is pretty good looking, and I don't really know what else I could kind of go for. I'm not really a big fan of the twin titanium racing exhaust. I don't think that looks very good. I don't like how this one's angled up. So honestly, pretty tempted to keep it stock, but for the purpose of the video, maybe I should go for the triple slotted exhaust up there. I don't know. Or the titanium split box exhaust. We'll just go for that. And you know, the only thing I don't like about it is that they're rectangles, and everything else in this car is very, well, maybe not everything else, but most of it is very circular and rounded. So kind of not a huge fan of that. But anyways, we will move on to the next thing. Now I am just going to quickly change the color here so we can see the options just a little bit better. I feel like the white's really hard to see. So back to the hood. We got the custom instep hood, kind of like that. We got the black stripe, we got the chrome stripe, we got the carbon hood, carbon instep hood. We got the drop vented hood. We have the vented hood itself. That's crazy looking. We also have the carbon vented hood, or the top vented induction hood. And you know what? They ripped that straight off of the Invitero Coquette. I promise you they did. That's insane. And it's really ugly. So that's, yeah, go figure, I guess. We're going to go for the instep hood though. The instep hood to me looks really good. I think that's a very good looking option for this car. For the lights, we will go xenon. For the neon kit, we will go front, back, and sides on there to lower the center of gravity, even if it's just slightly. Now for the mirrors, we have the custom mirrors, or of course stock. Now stock look way better, so I'm not changing that. We're going to leave that alone. Yellow and black for the plate. For the respray of the car itself, this thing definitely looks good in brighter sort of colors, I would say. And I'm just not quite sure which one I want to go for. Now there is the salmon pink, which I do kind of like on this car. And I haven't used for a long time, so that's something to consider. We also have the bright orange. We have some of these other colors like the yellows and things like that. We do also have my new and improved crew color, which is this very bright red, which I do kind of like. You know what? It's been a long time since I've used my old red crew color. I'm going to go ahead and do it on this car. Now for that secondary color, we could go for something a little bit different. No, I'm just going to go for the crew color as well. I was planning to maybe do something with that rear diffuser, but I think that this just looks good, so we'll go for that. Now for the roof, we have the primary roof, which is pretty cool. We also have the carbon striped roof, the primary striped carbon roof. That's an interesting option. We also have that secondary, or of course the whole carbon roof. Honestly, the whole carbon roof is kind of interesting to me. I'm almost tempted to go for it. I think that I actually will. I might change that though. I'm not 100% settled on that, so we'll have to see. Now for the skirts, we have the low level skirt, we have the secondary version of that, or the carbon version as well. We also have the GT skirt, secondary or carbon as well. I think I'm going to go for the carbon low level skirt. I kind of like the look of that, so we'll do that. Now for the wings, this thing actually has some really good wings, and they really improve the look of the overall vehicle itself. So we got the tuner wing, we got the custom body wing, which I do quite like. We also have the custom secondary body wing, or that in carbon as well. We have the exotic sharp wing, which I do think looks very good. Very cool, unique spoiler option there. We also have the primary shoulder GT spoiler. We have that in secondary and carbon as well. Now, I was always a pretty big fan of the exotic sharp wing, and I am pretty tempted to go for it, but at the same time, the tuner wing is pretty good looking. I'm going to go for that option today. I feel like it just looks so nice, so we'll do that. And for the wheels, I've never seen what this car looks like with some of these newer styled wheels on it, and it looks really, really good actually. Looks super good. Oh man, what wheel do I actually want to go for on it? The high fives? The Super Lux? Maybe the Super Lux on here. I feel like they look kind of nice. Let's go for that. Let's do them in black. For the wheels, we will go bulletproof tires, of course. For the windows, I will tint them out, I think, all the way. Maybe just a dark smoke. Let's go dark smoke on that. And then what was I going to do? There's something that I had just literally thought of right now that I wanted to change up on the car. The pearlescent. The pearlescent, that's what it is. I don't like whatever pearlescent is on here. It's ice white. It looks really good in this red though, I gotta say. Maybe if we go and put like some sort of a pink on it though, just to like kind of candy it up a little bit maybe. Maybe the Fister pink. That's kind of good looking. That's kind of good looking. Okay, I'm gonna go for that. All right. I'm happy that I customized this car again, man. I forgot how good this car's customization is, and this isn't even the Benny's version, which is pretty cool. So I'm quite happy with how it has turned out customization-wise. Now, of course, we do have to do a sound test and a full review on the car, so let's go ahead and get into that. Now, nothing really too special about the Progen Italia GTB's sound. It sounds very average. It almost sounds like every other Progen, I would say, in the game, but there's also many other cars that share this thing's like same sort of sound effects, so not that cool. Sound-wise, at least. Now, I do think that this car from the rear end looks absolutely incredible. I think that Rockstar completely killed it with the back end of this car. I think that they were going for like a McLaren 570S sort of look on the rear end of the car, because that car had just come out right around the time that they released the Italia GTB, which is crazy to think about. It was that long ago. So insane, truly, to think about that. But the Italia GTB is a pretty interesting car. Now, it is, of course, in the supercars category, and it's not the worst supercar ever, actually. And the GTB Custom, the wide-body variant of this thing, is actually even better than the regular GTB. It is slightly faster, has slightly more engine power, I do believe, and it is a little bit wider as well, so I think the handling is likely quite a bit better, too. Now, the Italia GTB itself, though, really cool car. Now, it goes for about $1.1 million regularly. I just bought it for about $830,000 to make this customization and review video. For that price, I would say it is definitely worth it. For under $1 million, you cannot go wrong with this car. It will outperform a lot of other cars that are in a similar price range, but even also more expensive. So that is definitely something to consider. And the great customization you get with the stock car is really cool. But then, of course, if it's not enough for you, you can upgrade to the GTB Custom, which is really, really nice to be able to do that. Now, the handling feels super good. It is, of course, all-wheel drive as well, which does help with the handling and help with the cornering and everything like that. It doesn't seem to understeer. It doesn't really seem to oversteer. It's very, very well balanced. It feels quite nice, I must say. Acceleration-wise, of course, off the line, it is pretty fantastic because of that all-wheel drive system. Not the fastest launch I've ever seen, but certainly not the slowest either. So it's pretty good off the line. Top speed wise, it's in the lower sort of 120 range. I'd say it's around, 124, 125, maybe mid 120 range is a better is a better spot to sort of place it at, you know, 125, maybe even as high as 126, 127. It's within that neighborhood though, which is pretty average for a supercar in GTA Online. And it's, you know, kind of upper for the sports category and things like that. So not a bad car by any means. Like I said, for 800 and whatever $1,000 it's on sale for, you can't really go wrong with picking it up. But even at full price, I don't really think you can go wrong with it. It is a very, very nice car to drive. It feels really good through these corners. It's got nice customization. Like I've mentioned a few times, it has the custom variant at Benny's. I don't really think that there's many cars that can beat this car at its same or very similar price point. It's got pretty much everything that you're gonna need. I don't think it's the best looking car of all time. There are things that do bother me about it. I wish that some of the spoiler options were different. I wish it had more exhaust options. I don't like the gap that's in the middle of the back there. The front end is pretty okay looking. My biggest complaint with the whole car is the roof section and everything. Everything about this car is super rounded. And then the vent or the ducts on the side are super angled. And the top cabin also feels quite angled. I feel like they could have done a better job with it, but overall it is still a really good looking car, and I am still a very big fan of it, I would say. So anyway guys, that's pretty much it for the Progen Itali GTB customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Consider subscribing to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.